one investor on Twitter that said founders that have not made single revenue in their life is telling Dangote how to or how not to run a refinery or something like that. He's asking why Dangote is building a refinery or whatever. And yeah, we just saw another startup, or is it? It's not a startup. It's actually a public company, and I didn't know them. Tingo Group.
Same here.
Don't know them.
I've never heard of them in my life. The first time I heard of them was when they said they were a unicorn.
Oh, okay.
That was the first time I heard of them. Then I'm now saying that Hildenberg Research has done they've done what they know how to do best. They thanked their.
I think Tingo needs to even explain it to me.
Okay, so Tingo, what happened? Who are these guys? Sorry, I've been validating around that whole Senegal and Vision Pro thing because I felt I'm tired of seeing African governments misbehave. They say one thing with their mouth and go and do another thing. I don't think a startup act should be existing in the same country that has internet shutdown. I don't think a startup act should be existing in the same country that has a NIDA code or NIDA act. I'm sorry, but let's move on to Tingo Group.
Let's see how the thing goes. All right, I got that was good.
You are commending yourself. Nobody commended you.
I mean, if nobody can, I have to do it. All anyway, right. So Tingo, I'm still surprised that a lot of people say they don't know them.
I've never heard of them.
I can't say the first time I heard about Tingo, but I just know I heard them maybe a few years back, before they became the whole unicorn that they claim they are, or they claimed they are. So Tingo, they are like an agri-fintech. They play in two different, is it 2 or 3 different spaces now? So there's a mobile phone arm where they claim to be selling phones to farmers in Africa.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a mobile phone arm of the business where they claim to be selling smartphones to farmers in Africa. So they claim they have operations in Nigeria and Ghana, and they say they've sold about 12 million phones. I was trying to get the number of phones that Transion Holdings has sold, just to see if you are such a big deal and you've sold 12 million phones. Transion has, I think, about 70% of the smartphone market in Africa.
Yeah.
So you should be very close to what they are doing, right? That's one aspect. They also have the fintech arm where they are also offering financial services to these farmers who are supposed to make up the bulk of their customer base. And then there's those are the 2 major places that
those financial services, is it like credit or insurance?
Credit, insurance. So they're supposed to be offering it to the farmers directly, helping them buy input and all of that.
Okay, so what is the scam?
The scam is that Hildenberg Research says that basically everything there is a scam. The businesses they claim to be doing. So first of all, the mobile arm that we talked about, they are not selling smartphones to anybody. They claim they have contracts with 2 suppliers, UGC and Bullet. Those are like smartphone manufacturers in the US. And while UGC says we don't know you guys, we submitted a bid for a contract, or we bid for a contract to work with you guys, but nothing came out. You didn't even respond to us. So how are we your suppliers? Bullet on the other hand says yes, we have a contract, but we haven't supplied one phone to you, even though we have a contract. I mean, so it's probably something that was in the works. So when you also check the website of they also have an agri marketplace. Yes, they have a marketplace. So basically, where farmers can go sell things, and then I can go there maybe as a middleman, or I need the products, I can go buy there. So I checked, and the website, in fact, it's not opening. So that's basically the state of that. So Hildenberg is saying that everything about them is inaccurate. There's also the fact that the founder, who claims to have a PhD in rural advancement from a Malaysian university, doesn't have the degree he claims to have, because the university in question wrote back to Hildenberg and said, we do not know anybody that goes by this name. A couple of years ago, they hired a CEO who had to step down after 2 years, saying that there were some things that were happening that he just couldn't make sense of. Well, 2 years is a long time for you to arrive at that conclusion, but whatever. So that is like a summary of some of the controversies that has been swirling around. So I don't know if you heard earlier this year when the guy that's Dozie Mobotsi, that's the founder's name, when he wanted to buy Sheffield United, the deal ended because they were able to the club. I mean, people were able to find out that this guy is not legit, basically. So he's been arrested by the EFCC for fraud in the past, and it was settled. So he's basically, and then he has also been on Forbes, where, like, you know how basically Forbes to prison pipeline is like unmatched. And there's just a whole lot about this guy that is, there's a whole lot about him that is so fishy. And a lot of the things we've seen is he's been going around. I think, I can't remember what happened, but I think earlier this year he was in the news after he decided to buy that Sheffield, and a lot of people were asking, even people in the same space he claims to be playing in, saying, who are these guys? Do we know them? What do they do? So, and Hildenberg, you already know their business model. They do research on frauds, or guys they call frauds, and then they short your stocks. So surprisingly, Tingo is actually listed on Nasdaq, where, although that was through a reverse merger, so that was, it's not like they
actually IPO'd.
Yeah.
Okay. What's okay? Let's not even go into that now.
What a reverse merger is? It's basically, it's simple actually. So a smaller company buys a bigger company that is already listed, so you take over there, or just
so a smaller company buys a bigger company that's already listed.
Yeah. So imagine me. Imagine Xenox Group acquiring Apple.
Xenox Group, okay.
Yes, acquired. That's small.
Is that not too far? Which kind?
It's small, and this is very big.
It's okay. So, but the company Tingo has actually come out to say that they came out to deny the reports, but I found the label very, very, very weird. They labeled the Hildenberg reports opinion, like. Now they talk that kind of, like, you are just saying what you are saying, but for a report like that with so much allegations and possible tethering on fraud allegations, and you came out to say it's opinion, like, okay, that's your own opinion about. If something is not true, it's not true. If something is true, it is true. This is you, for instance. Imagine coming to meet you, Chingozim, and said, hey, Chingozim, you're a fraudster, you're a Yahoo boy. Are you going to tell me that's my own opinion?
Oh, yeah. I mean, knowing Chingozim might say that.
No, but I just find their response weird. I mean, so the question is, are they lying or not? That's what is in my head.
If you ask me, it's one thing for an individual to say, oh, I don't care about the opinions of other people. It's another thing for a business to tell me, I don't care about the opinions of other people. Sure, they mind me. Like, you have to care about the opinions, because as we saw after the report, their shares, the price of their shares went down, which is something that happens, like, it's pretty common. But you ideally should have, I mean, if their shareholders or stockholders are also not fabricated, right? They have people they will be answering to. So, like, are you also telling them that their opinions don't matter? I don't know. It's a very funny response.
Down by almost 50% in the last 5 days.
Okay, and then you're saying it's an opinion. So, come on now.
I mean, you have to do something to reassure
people that.
Yes.
At least the people who are directly invested in your company. Forget about us.
Opinion.
We are not.
We don't have know you exist in the first place. I'm sorry.
But the people who own shares or shares in your company, at least speak to them. So I don't know. Anyway,
has any security operative or
whether he has been arrested or something like that? As at this moment, I don't think I've seen any. But it's probably going to. So, except they had a case on him already, I don't expect them to just go on the word of a media report. It's probably going to take maybe a week or two.
True.
Yeah, so, I mean, Tingo didn't come out of thin air. I think we did a feature on them a few years back. And there's just been that air around them that I was not really sure of. Then, I think there's another company like that on my radar. There's another company. I mean, I and Tej, I've discussed this at some points about one company that we also featured. We'll be like, so this is the thing, and it's making me skeptical about the entire Agrictech industry. Like, this is not the first time we're hearing something happening with these agro-related companies. First, there was the whole debacle with Farm Crowdy and Driver Agric, and those were the most popular ones. And I think they found a way to adjust themselves. But there were a bunch of other guys that were doing weird stuff, and we can't hear of them again. Agro crowdfunding, providing financing to farmers, and a lot of people lost their money, and a lot of people have still not recovered their money till now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to be fair, it's not really about the industry. Anybody can
agro
perpetrate
financing.
Yeah, anybody can perpetrate fraud in
any industry.
And once it has an element of finance, it's quite easy, especially if you're dealing dealing with an economy like Nigeria. So one thing that comes with maybe having a lot of poor people is that people kind of, especially with the way Nigerians can be hopeful, they just think or believe that there's this next big break somewhere on the way that, okay, maybe this investment could just bring them closer to it. So yes, I think we will see more of this. We will see more of this, like brazen attempts at defrauding an entire world. We'll see more of it. But I think it's not a reflection of the industry. I think it's just someone who did not know when to stop. That's like,
all right,
or even did not even know that he shouldn't have started in the first place.
All right, so let's even move on from this story, because I don't like hearing stories like this. It's not good. It just reminds me of what one of my friends always tells me: is government is not our issue, be our own issues. Right? Because these are the people that will eventually get elected into government, seats of power. And this is what you're doing with your company. What will you not do when you become the president, an elected president, or a senator, or anything?
Let's not even imagine.
So, yeah, it's a sad situation.